Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gone Wild live clips and podcast. Today we are talking about legislative battles in the gig economy. So in a recent live stream with my Gone Wild co-host Budsoda, we talked about some of the legislative battles that are taking place for gig workers everywhere. And some of them are huge for gig workers, some of which fellow creators and big names in the gig space are entering the field and fight to get some of these things done. So in this video, we are presenting a clip from the Gone Wild live stream about some of the policy changes we would like to see in the gig economy, what we want to have versus how it's actually going to go down, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we go over on any of the Gone Wild clips and podcasts is very market to market and case by case. What applies to me and my market, Budsoda's market, or any of the markets that are discussed throughout our videos and live streams may not apply to you. So with that said, enjoy the clip.
So they want to pass a law in every state defining what we are. And I think the transparency law that's in Colorado is really good. And doing that nationwide would be good. Someone can put the link in the comments, but I don't know enough about it to completely promote it yet. But if Steve's behind it, I do trust what the source is. And Red Share Rodeo, by the
Yeah,
way.
I try to like I feel like I do need to actually look at the law and like see
Yeah,
what people
yeah.
are talking about. I know that there's been a lot of conversations about things that
But
need to change. I
I
have
think
my opinions. I know that people have been expressing their opinions to
I
me. I just was on the phone with somebody today. They want to start not a union, but an association of drivers to um fight to get better pay, better
well,
benefits, and work directly with restaurants, similar to a DSP, but not a DSP in his mind. And I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah,
But
I tried to do that. It didn't work. It's hard.
yeah, it's
It's
not
hard
easy.
because
It's a
most people
lot more work than people give it credit for. And it's possible. I know that
it's
there's
possible, but it's
a group of people in New York that do that, but that's also a very union heavy state. And yes, this was a union. We're not hiding that. But yeah, that was their choice to go about it that way.
but anyways, I just think that like having transparency would solve a lot of these problems and having like a fair deactivation process. Like I got deactivated because one of the customers was the same one I had problems with before and already said I didn't deliver, and it was a parent order, and I wasn't taking every screenshot like I should have, like because that's something that Spark drivers just do religiously because they know it's an issue. Like my buddy, because I gave him that advice when he started. He started after I got deactivated, and I was like religiously take screenshots of all the order numbers, the addresses, and the names of people, and start logging that information. He had a little notebook that he'd write down if it was like someone bad. Now they're Gary Middlesex Technologies has an app where you can report that and you can just look it up for your city and report it for your city. So I think that's
That's
wonderful.
that's
So
what app is that?
I
That's
can't
one of
remember the name.
Gary's apps, right?
Yeah, Lisa probably knows the name of it. We got a
I think it's
crap ton of
Yak.
comments.
Four
Four
states
states.
have submitted for transparency. No unions. Couldn't agree
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Is it four states now? I know that Colorado did and won.
That's law there, but they're trying to get it through their legislatures. Is basically what she's saying, and I think that's a great thing. I think we need to make like a rough draft where you can just basically fill in the state's name and have a very similar law to Colorado. I think like okay, so here's the basics. Full tip transparency. So basically, the base pay tip, the name and the address of where you're going and where you're picking up from. No hiding that crap. And then um, fair deactivation process. And I think that would be great for everyone. I can live without the last one if they do the former, but I that's kind of really you gotta have that as a whole package to really secure the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Colorado does have a union member on that board, and the union member loves that because it's like, oh, they're your employees, and we're negotiating on their behalf. No, it's not anything like that. It's just so you can talk to a damn human.
Don't even get me
Ugh,
started on the
yeah,
prospect of humans.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, same thing with the background checks. I want the background checks. So, like, I have background checks that are old, and I can't dispute them because they're too old. They can't find them, and I'm just trying to like, can you mainly rerun the background check so I can probably have access to your platform again? And they're like, no, you have to dispute it with this company. They don't have the information anymore. Just run it. It's been over a year. So after a year, and you try to manually like you got to have some kind of human interaction in there to at least manually dispute it and be say, hey, just rerun the background check, and if you don't like it, just tell me, and that's okay. But at least let me have a chance. So so let's just say your insurance left for a few days, they picked that up, and you took care of the issue, and you got your license all situated. Like, at least let me rerun the background check to show my MVR stuff is okay
Mm-hmm.
versus just saying, "Oh no, you're screwed."
Gigwise, thank you for joining us. I have a bill I'm working on for Missouri, rough draft stage still. I didn't know you
Awesome.
did legislation like that. Or
I,
do you
I think it's important we get guys like him, like people like us,
uh
involved in the process. And because when that hell happened in Colorado, it was the gig meeting I didn't get to go to. Everyone wanted me to go, but
mhm.
Senator Priola, who originally shot the original legislation down, sat in on that conversation, and like he didn't know what we go through on a daily basis. He didn't understand that, like, because even though the original author was a Democrat and she's liberal, she did gig work. She understands it, and she's more of a small L libertarian as far as that goes. Being,
Mhm.
mind you, disclaimer, politics, but
Yeah, this is
like,
not a political
like,
channel. Yeah, I
yeah,
get you.
yeah. She okay. As far as economically speaking, and like employee versus independent contractor rights, she understands that,
Mhm.
and because she did the work herself. Because I will say, okay, have you worked on any of these apps? And the dispatch team used to do one of these apps. You know, the ones that did the apps are so much better because they understand. The ones
Mhm.
that didn't repeat that stupid script and they don't understand it. And you could bash them over the head with the information and they still don't get it. So that's what we need, guys. Is that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we need guys like Tim in St. Louis, Missouri, to do this. And man, I wish I had the time I used to because I would definitely because I get so overtired now because I do very hard labor.
Yeah. Lisa just put in the link for change it or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's
Um
Steve's petition.
Yep. So, guys, if you want to check that out, by all means. I didn't look at
And
the full
yeah,
details, so I'm
yeah.
not advocating until I do a full review of it. But
A
I
thousand gets
do,
an attention. So
yeah,
basically, if you guys want to look into that, please do your own research. That's the disclaimer we put on every video.
yep,
Please do your own research. Do that. I am
yeah. Let me
100% for
do a
transparency.
additional point on that. Actually, once again, this is not a political channel. This has never been a political channel. Never be a political channel. We are simply providing the facts and displaying our opinions based on us being gig workers, not representing left, right, up,
Yeah.
down, A, B, or whatever part of the
Circle square,
target.
select
Yeah,
start.
exactly. We are literally here as gig workers talking about gig worker things.
And bonus
Um,
points if you get the reference, kids.
yeah. I'm waiting to see Gary's for Oklahoma because I know he has some things I want to add some to mine for Missouri.
We also do Florida because I know he's like a dual resident. I think that'd be good.
I would hope so. Like, I would like full transparency for a lot of these
Yeah.
orders. I would
I
also.
think not to be too political, but I think something that governor would be cool with. I mean,
Mhm.
while he's still in office, it needs to be done.
I would
Same for
also
Texas and
like.
states like that.
I would also like there to be some sort of law or something in place to where if you give a job to somebody or you give a opportunity to somebody on one of these platforms and then you take it away from them to give it to one of your own drivers like at the near last minute, like that needs to stop, or at least it shouldn't end up on the platform to begin with if you don't intend it to be on that platform, because that's been a growing problem on Deliver That, to where if you if you accept one of their direct partnership orders, you almost risk not being able to fulfill that order because it's high value and they could just give it to one of their own drivers. And
Yes.
why
So
would I risk blocking out time in my day, regardless of the value of it, if I know I'm not going to receive that order because you're going to cancel it 2 hours and 2 minutes before the order is actually gonna start, so you even avoid the cancellation fee. So we just gotta pray that something drops that we can take.
I know you said there was something in the mid 100s on a recent show that was in Miami that you just said no to because you knew that big risk was there, to
Mhm.
where I'm going over an hour out of my way, and if that cancels, I'm completely screwed.
Yeah,
So like like the way we do these orders is you have to plan your day around it, and if that big fish goes away, you're completely screwed. And people need to understand that. And I think that's also a great thing is that there needs to be legislation. Okay, if we want to talk money, because I know a lot of them don't want to do the pure Colorado law because there's no money talking. It's just the
yeah,
transparency part. But like, put the transparency part is you have to be fair to us. It is if we accept it, they're up to what 3 days ahead of time on most of these apps now. So if with you have to cancel 72 hours beforehand. Like you got till 72 hours to take it for yourself. And as soon as the driver accepts it, that's 72 hours, you have to pay them a portion of that. You have to give them X amount, whatever, a third, a quarter, a guaranteed minimum amount for having to deal with that headache. What that number is questionable, but it could be a percentage, it could be a flat rate, but like if you're driving an hour out of your way, let's say he drives in Miami or when I was in Pittsburgh region, I drove on the other west side of Pittsburgh or to Ohio or West Virginia and some order for a high dollar amount canceled on me, I'm screwed. I
right.
just drove all the way out there for basically nothing. And there's not many orders. Like there's a couple in Liverpool where I get orders out there, but there's not many. And like I could roadie it back or get on DoorDash and hope for a $25 for 20 miles or something. But that's just so rare. You don't get that, and then it's not a guarantee. We schedule our days around guarantees. Sorry, it's okay. Sorry for those guys, but like I'm just saying that there needs to be some kind of protection in there for us saying hey, you guys got 72 hours. If you do decide to cancel in that 72 hours, it's this. If you decide to cancel with less than 24 hours, it's a greater amount. So they can stop playing games like that. Like, so a direct partner order for $150, let's say, because I said mid 100s, that's an hour and a half away. You already planned your day around it, and you scheduled it 3 days ahead. All of a sudden, in the last few hours, or even the hour, like an hour and a minute before they'll pay you a guarantee, on the app side, they'll cancel it on you, and you're screwed. They can't play that game. You have only up to, let's say, What's a night's sleep? 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours to do that. But then you have to pay us half of the value,
Mm-hmm.
at least half. And if
And
it's
here's another.
anything over 24 hours, just make it a base guarantee saying here it's a percentage. I think
And
that's fair.
here's something else that I think needs to be addressed. It needs to be clear based on whoever's committing the most time to it, how much how much each person is actually getting paid from this. Like, yeah, the DSP could take like a small portion of it, but none of the tip. Like, they could get their own little commission, but that goes straight to the rest of it goes straight to their driver. Period. It's none of
Yeah.
this, oh, you could like you get 5 minutes for the wait time. So you get $5 for the wait time, and we get $10 because they actually pay us $15 for wait time, and we actually get a portion of that. No, 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 no,
So
no. That goes 100% to the driver.
okay, well, let's take easy tiers gratuity. They're guarantees. You could almost use that as a base model. So let's say the base pays out of the equation and we only get whatever of the gratuity, but when it's $1,000 plus order, that's $100 guarantee. So $100 within 24 hours, that's $50 guaranteed to us.
Mhm.
And then when it's more 72 to 24 hours, let's call it 25%. So we get $25. But at least if it's more than 24 hours out, we'd have a chance to do something else.
Yeah, exactly. And like I just think it is so vital because this is becoming such an inherent problem. And it's not even just the gig economy, too. Like, imagine how many like, I know that this is a problem in the
The
trucking
trucking world.
industry.
Yep.
Yep. To where you'll book a time and then they suddenly don't have they what is it called? Like, they don't provide detention or whatever it is, or uh they don't pay whatever for
Yeah.
like
So you're okay. You're
wrong
stuck.
ad.
Let's say you're at a Walmart DC. Let's just call it Walmart DC because we're talking about Walmart
Sure.
earlier. And they say to be here at this time, you have to be here at this time. Truckers have to pay a penalty if they're more than 15 minutes late.
Mhm.
But if they're sitting there holding you for more than that 15 minutes plus, they're supposed to pay you a detention fee. But all these places try to do anything they can do not to pay it. Because so they'll hold these guys hostage for like 6 to 8 hours. Like speaking of holding, could you imagine? Like I'm complaining about 45 minutes on the curbside. These guys are sitting here for half their day,
Mhm.
and when they're on that clock, like if they're considered on their drive time where
Yeah.
they're active because that's active work time, 6 of 11 hours. Well, you got 5 hours to drive. Good luck, bud. And Walmart, they want you to deliver this. Let's just say it's a truckload of water. They need it ASAP somewhere else. Well, you're kind of screwed. I know there's waivers when it's an actual emergency disaster and they let them drive over their time, but like if they just need water on the outlying area that's not considered a disaster zone, um, because everyone's obviously going to go to those outlying areas,
Mhm.
then these guys need to be covered for that 6 hours and be and not be penalized for being late with their load but also being paid for that 6 hours because you're like a lot of truckers are independent contractors. So I know that's one thing that um, I'm being political again. God damn it. Well, she's running for governor here. She's our congresswoman, Elise Stefanik.
Mhm.
She's running for governor of New York. That's one thing she's always been adamant on is helping the truckers, and she's been good with the independent contractor fight just because of that as a side effect. And that's just the stuff we need, though. We need like support for independent contractors and like making sure we don't get screwed up. And that includes truckers. So I know Red Shirt Rodeo and his buddy over there. Um, I know you guys are big on that side. you could get those guys unsupportive us for this stuff because it does affect them, that would be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be pretty big. I'm gonna start to work on the comments again. Waiting to see
Sorry.
Gary's from Oklahoma. It's only NYC, not the whole state. Okay, yeah. That's you were talking about the governor. I would if that governor does get elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see her like change the current laws in New York City and see how that goes. Because I know that's not gonna happen. I know that's just her campaign talk. And
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. She would need control of both houses, and that is very unlikely to happen. Republicans did hold the uh they don't call it the house, they call it something else. Damn it. Why am I drawing a blank? I live here.
the
But whatever, the
apartment
equivalent of the
building.
house. The equivalent of the House, they held that for quite some time. Right now, I think it's all Democrat majority. But like
Yeah.
again, politics disclaimer. But like she would need all that to happen so these laws could get through to protect us independent contractors like and get New York City to adhere to what the state level is versus their own thing. So like when New York City just had the transparency law and saying, okay, you can turn off tolls and stuff and they can't make you cross it, that was great. But as soon as they went beyond that, here's the floor, here
Mhm.
comes down the ceiling. So like the top burners were way over here where the lights
Yeah.
are. Now they're down here. You're and then like the minimum order, you got I think it's like they figured it out. It's like instead of $2, it's like $8. It's like, ooh, that's nothing in New York City,
Mhm.
so that something needs to change as far as that goes. When there's true transparency and you can pick and choose how you please, and they cannot penalize you for it in any way. They can't like say, "Hey, you can't have these programs." Saying, we'll give you special benefits if you have for the offers themselves." She just texted me it. That changed things, but I'll tell him to come in the live stream. But you do just have transparency. Let me pick and choose how I choose, and don't have you know. Oh, you can get the better offers if you have a certain thing because like DoorDash get catering, you're supposed to be in the platinum status. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't, but it's a lot less likely. But you have to take a lot of $2 crap sandwiches to do that. Like maybe not exactly $2, but like the last time I was platinum, it seemed like um the $2 came to me anyway. Versus before when it was first a thing, I'd get like it would only come to me after everyone else declined it. So it at least be 325 for a no tip. That's not great, but sometimes you get um a low no tip double. So basically one person tipped $1, the other person tipped zero, but it's $10 double stack. It doesn't go it goes 5 miles. It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Are you doing anything better? No? Okay. As far as the legislation, we're talking about transparency. Um, that's something, Tim, you said you're working on that. Steve, if you're listening, if you could put that in your draft, there needs to be some kind of thing to where if the first order made you late to your second on the same platform, that needs to be auto exempt no matter what. And then um, have some leeway, at least 10 to 15 minutes is fine. It's not considered a late, but you won't get the bonus point or whatever you would for being on time, but it won't count against you either.
Yeah.
And I just think that's the best thing you can do is yeah, I see Lisa's link there. But like I just we need to do some more research on that. He's probably gonna do a video on it. Is I think transparency is the greatest thing and there needs to be some protections in there for us to say, hey, you need to treat us like independent contractors, but not be like Here, you're getting penalized because this, and this, and this that's out of your control.
All right.
And have a little bit of forgiveness in there because these apps used to be a lot more forgiving. Like 15 minutes and you're good. Like I first started delivered and they said 25 minutes is okay. Like okay, that's a lot of time, but okay. Now
Yeah,
still
right.
on time to the client, which is the most important thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, if I'm on time to the client, I arrived. Mind you, I didn't set it up or anything. I arrived to the client. That's what should matter, and that's what it should go back
Agreed.
to.
If only the world worked that way, though. Well, I'm sure. I hope that the legislation does fix that, but again, I also don't know
Yeah,
how
I
much.
mean, this is a big wish list.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, these things would all be in effect. But
Mm-hmm.
like, that's just things you can write in, and it's like it's also a buffer to the most core stuff that you really want to keep. So the more of that stuff you add in, they're like, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. They can't fight your core argument as much. You still get the transparency part. Like you still get, you know, the base, the tip, gratuity, whatever they call it, and
Yeah.
the full information as far as where you're picking up from, where you're delivering to. No hiding addresses, no hiding names, no hiding the restaurant name, no hiding items. You gotta say all the items because, like, even sometimes on Easycater, they don't like to say what the items are. They'll say it's this one thing, and he's like, "Oh, they actually mean a triple portion of that or whatever," and it's like way more than you thought it was. It's like we need to see that information. Like if the customer can order it on your platform, that's the information I want.
Exactly.
It's like it's the same thing with truckers. It's like the customer can see that information. There's zero reason why you're hiding it from me. The same on the last mile for us stuff, stuff that can fit
Mhm.
in cars. There's zero reason to hide it. Like a lot of stuff will say 72 by 1 by 1. I get there and it's like 12-inch thick stuff that like once I have 12 of them, well, I can't fit that in my stuff. This needs to be listed for a cargo van or box truck. But oh wait, you don't want to list it for that because that costs more money. It'll
But
be like thick foam board insulation. You can't put that on a trailer and strap it because if you strap it, it'll break it. It has to
yeah.
be in an enclosed vehicle.
Make sure to check out our Patreon for our full live stream replays, exclusive clips I can't post on YouTube, and access valuable benefits and resources for gig workers and self-employed individuals of all kinds. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time. By the way, make sure you join us for the Wyld live stream, and you could be part of the conversation too. We're looking forward to seeing you there.
Tripping was the only wave of must. Take it back, we're looking back.